Hey guys, Comic Uno, and today's topic video is something close to my heart because I want to talk about how I got into comic books. And I grew up with comic books. My dad, he grew up with comic books, so he used to get like a lot of DC comic books when he was little, and really when he was growing up. And he would get like Adventure comic books, Adventure comics. He would get Green Lantern, Superman. He wasn't big on Marvel, so. But when I was little, he used to, get a comic book, and he used to read. Me and my brother, he read it to us, and my brother wasn't so interested in comic books. Like, oh, okay, let's read a comic book. But when I heard that we were gonna read a comic book, I got so excited. I'm like, all right, which one are we reading now? Lois Lane? Are we gonna read Superman? I just loved reading those comic books and got so excited to read them with my dad. And I still love having that hobby with my dad. And I think that's a really great thing to have. And I just, like I said, since I was little, I just loved comic books. And again, I loved to read them, and I got really excited. Another thing that got me really into it was the cartoons, like Teen Titans, Batman the Animated Series, X-Men from the 90s, X-Men Evolution. There's a lot of them. There's so many. Static Shock. I just loved all those cartoons. I would like wake up every Saturday morning and just get so excited to watch a cartoon on the WB, and I always woke up early just to watch a superhero cartoon. And also the movies. Also, I used to go with my dad all the time to like see Spider-Man. We would see it like more than once in the movie theaters. Like, that was good, let's go see it next week again. I was a big Spider-Man fan when I was little. That's why I'm such a big Spider-Man fan now, as you can see. But Spider-Man, no, but I am a really big Spider-Man fan. I've always been a big Spider-Man fan. I remember the first comic book I ever got and was a Spider-Man comic book. I remember I would always go on like eBay with my dad. Like, I was get so excited. Like, I want to get a comic book. Come on, let's get a comic book. And it'd be like some miscellaneous comic book. I was just like, search for Spider-Man. I'm like, that looks cool. Let's go get that. I used to just get really excited just to buy a comic book. And like Fantastic Four. I used to have like, in my collection was like 10 comic books, and I would get them off eBay, and like it would be like I would just read them all the time. Like, I think I've memorized the story. And I remember one had like some hologram, not hologram, the ones that you could turn back and forth and get to see different images. For some reason, I can't think of the name right now, but thought that was so cool. I'm like, this must be the best comic book ever because it had that. But yeah, so I had another like Fantastic Four one. Like, they were so miscellaneous. They weren't anything special, but I just loved them because they were my first like 10 comic books in my collection. And I saw how big my dad's collection was. I'm like, I want to have a really big collection when I'm older. And I really got into comic books then. And I just keep getting like stuff I would like, like I was like, oh, I really like Spider-Man. And then for X-Men Evolution, I'm like, I really like X-Men, let's get an X-Men comic book. And so I just loved having that hobby that I could share that with my dad. And to share that hobby, and that we could always read comic books together. And I think I got into really getting into comic books, like having a big collection, getting them each week. When I went on Comic Vine, I definitely got into comic books a little bit more because I recognized that comic books came out every week. There really was a story to it. So once I got a little older, I really did recognize the story. A lot of the characters, I got into characters that are a little less known, and to the general people, like, everyone knows Superman, everyone knows Spider-Man, but then you learn about characters that people might not know of. And so that's really how I got into comic books. And I got really into comic books once I grew a little older, to understand what the comic books really, the story had. They weren't just they really did have a great story, and I learned that. And I'm glad to share that hobby, and I'm glad I started, I'm glad I grew up with comic books, and I'm glad that I found comic books when I was little. I'm glad that my dad liked comic books. I'm glad he got me into comic books. So I want to hear you guys' story of how you guys got into comic books. Was it as you got older, or did you start when you were younger? Who got you into comic books, if you did? Grow up with comic books. So I'm so glad to be loving comic books. I think through my whole life I'm gonna be loving comic books. I think it's a great hobby, it's just a great thing to read and a really great thing to enjoy. And again, I want to hear you guys' opinions. Do you like obviously like comic books, but like, how did you get into comic books? Is there a big backstory on your comic books? And what is your comic book origin? I told you guys my comic book origin, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I'm so glad that I'm into comic books, and I'm so glad that I can enjoy comic books, and I'm so glad that I grew up with them. So this is Comic Uno. Hope you guys enjoyed. Also, guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. In the description below will be a link for that. I'll just have comic book news, reviews I'll be doing, topic videos I'll be doing, anything related to my channel. And also, guys, don't forget to follow my other YouTube channel, The Rant Situations, and I'll just have news about those videos in the description below. There'll be a link for that also. Sorry, guys, can't talk. I've been talking for hours. But, so this is Comic Uno. Hope you guys enjoyed, and tell me in comments below about your comic book origins. See ya.